Here on Caribbeana, we've got another guest, Mr. Keith Easton. Keith is a Guyanese, and he is attempting to preserve Buxton's legacy through the Friendship Museum. Keith, thank you for taking time to talk with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your Guyanese roots?
Vaughn, first, I must thank you for the opportunity of being on the air with you at such a short notice. And I know you have been with us in promoting our culture in Guyana and also what we do in Buxton. I am a Buxtonian, and also I am the founder and administrator of the Buxton Friendship Museum in Guyana, which is now 7 years old. And the museum has been performing in various areas. It's not only a museum which looks at artifacts, but it's also a cultural center, and it's also we also have art, not just artifacts, but also we look at different aspects of the community in terms of we do social work, we hold different forms of events in terms of health, economic development. Generally, it's not just a museum.
Right.
And we are also archived in terms of storing information for the future and in terms of future generations.
Right, right. You've been supporting the Buxton Friendship Museum for a long while. What drew you to this project, Keith?
That's a good question. Let me see. It's now 12 and 5 and 7, right? That's 19 years ago. I visited a museum in Baltimore called AVAM, American Visionary Museum. And how did I visit that museum? I was invited by Guyanese, Wilfred Martin from Linden, in order to view an exhibit that he had there. And when I visited the museum, I was inspired by that visit. After deliberating and seeing what they had there, that inspired me to start my own museum. And after that inspiration and that thought, I was introduced to the founder of that museum, who gave me her support, endorsed the museum in Guyana without even seeing me. And from that journey, that is her name is Rebecca Hofberger. So that museum is one of the largest museums in Baltimore by self-taught artists.
Right.
So
right.
that's just to give you a summary of, how I started.
What role do you see the museum playing in the community?
The museum has several roles to play. One, in the communities, not community only, because we have the Buxton, we have Friendship,
Right.
then we have the environs in terms of the different villages that surround Buxton, Annandale, Lusignan, Bedford-Wacton, we can keep going,
Right.
and the surroundings. So, and then at large, the museum serves a purpose in Guyana, especially with the multiracial side of and the influx of immigrants into Guyana.
Right.
So the museum will be serving as a foundation for the villages, especially since the museum was started based on the foundation of our enslaved Africans in Buxton and in Guyana.
Right, 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 right. But what has been your personal contribution or involvement?
Um, Actually, in 2017, after the inspiration to start the museum, in 2017, I was able to get what we call a set of dedicated persons to which I shared my idea with, and we were able to start what we call the Friends of the Villages Museum. Sorry, yes, Friends of the Villages Museum and Archives. It's a
Right.
501c organization in Washington, D.C. And
Uh,
after we started that, the group in the United States, I then went to Guyana, shared the idea with Buxtonians and Principians, and from that, we were able to start the museum in Guyana.
right.
It called for a building, which, you know, based on my mother had left a piece of land, and on that land, the family, constructed the museum, which is where the everything is housed right now.
Right, right. Man, that's a marvelous contribution. Does the government have any role to play in its development or anything like that?
Actually, and that's a very good question. Right now, I would say, um, and I could be corrected here, we might be the only museum that is not actually supported by the museum. We did receive a grant from in 2019, right? And that's what without going into all the figures,
Right,
that was $2.5 million, and
right,
um, about 2 years ago, we received another grant um, of that's $1.8 million.
right, right,
But that is the extent of the support we have, and we have been applying to the government and governments, and we will continue to do so, right, until we are totally acknowledged based
right,
on the fact that we apply for something you call a subvention, which
right,
means that the government recognizes you, any government in power recognizes you, and you will continuously get um, support based on the budget.
right, right. Now, you all have an event coming up very shortly. Um, you want to tell us a bit about it with the appearance
Yes,
of a famous star, a Guyanese star?
yes. The event that is coming up, it's our third biennial awards dinner and dance, and it's our seventh anniversary of the museum and archives in Guyana. Now, what we try to do, as I said, we have different programs and different activities as fundraising in order to keep the museum alive,
Mhm.
because we have staff there and we have to pay staff, we have other expenses, etc. So these fundraisers that we do in the United States and in Guyana is to help ourselves and not
Right,
rely on what you call it, money coming from, government or other,
right, right.
right?
Yeah.
So the on Saturday, the 18th of October, that is just around the bend, we have at the Laurel Bowie Senior Center at 7120 County Road in Laurel, Maryland, zip code 20707. We have our awards dinner and dance program. What we have, we call it a joyful night in conversation with one of Guyanese's treasured daughters. Who is that treasured daughter?
Mhm.
CCH Pounder Cohen. She's an actress, advocate, and art collector. Um, what role would she be playing? She will be in conversation, and it's a new way of not boring people, right? She would be in conversation. But let me go back to who is she? She is an actress I mentioned, right? From Guyana, born in Guyana, and she came in the full circle. She was on NCIS, New Orleans, um, James Cameron's Avatar, The Way of Water, and Rustin, along with other things that and
Right.
performance. But as I said, she's an actress, advocate, and art collector.
You know,
So
Go
So
ahead.
we hope to introduce her to the audience in conversation, right? And persons will get an idea of
Yeah.
more of what she is. But it's a joyful occasion, a joyful night, and it would be a fun night, you know, in terms of that celebration that we'll be having.
I'm sure you feel very proud and happy to be a part of a process where an individual like CC Pounder is appearing. And that must give you some inspiration to continue doing the work that you're doing.
Yes, I must say. And that is why, based on her acceptance to be part of our fundraiser, to be part of our development, right? Um, you find that we're inviting not only adults, right, but also youth from universities. We hope that persons from the Howard University or Bowie University or the District of Columbia, students will seize the opportunity because we do have a special price, which I wouldn't quote. We do have special price on for students, right? And again, I can give you my number and another number, right? That that persons can call in and and ask questions and get prices. But also, one can go on the internet and Google Buxton Friendship Museum, of which we have a website, and they can get more information about us. And also, those who do not know about CCH Founder Cone and also Google her to see, what she's bringing to
Right.
our event.
All right. Well, my friend Keith, I want to thank you very much. And any final words you'd like to leave us with, especially to Guyanese in the diaspora and in the area?
Yes. Final words are one, we look forward to your attendance on Saturday, October the 18th, 2025. We did send out by emails to many people, right? And we have a saying, Mati tell Mati, right? That the information flows. That's one. Two, um, we look forward to your support in keeping the museum alive, especially since we do not have any official, support from,
Governments
from the
and
government.
right.
Um, you know, that's two. And thirdly, the phone numbers. My phone number is 240-601-3892. And then we have the secretary phone number, which is 973-769-5758. So you have my number, you have the secretary's phone number. And as I said, one can Google the museum, and a lot of the information is already out there, right?
All
So
right.
we look forward to your support, not only financial, but also we're looking for persons who can be part of our journey in terms of that's being part of our organization in terms of keeping the organization continuously alive in the future.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Keith Easton. I've been speaking with Mr. Keith Easton, and Keith is uh, from the Friends of Villages Museum and Archives Incorporated, and they are seeking the efforts to contribute support to the Cultural Center and Archives in Guyana. This is Von Martin. Caribbeana continues.
Thank you.